What's up, family? This your favorite cousin Rich. And let's talk about self-hate. Self-hate amongst the black community. And I think a lot of our issues that we have against one another stems from self-hate. While you have either self-hate or a lack of self-love. Because you can lack self-love and not hate yourself. And then on the flip side, you could hate yourself. So the lack of self-love or self-hate, it's just something that we struggle with, and that's why we treat each other and or treat ourselves the way that we do. Again, the way that we treat each other or treat ourselves. It's just the reason why it's so easy for us to kill one another, because we don't love ourselves. We hate ourselves. We hate who we are. So because you dislike yourself, you project that upon your brother. You project that upon your sister. Because you don't see yourself in the highlight, you project that on them as well. Because you've been told so many times that you ain't this, you ain't that, you project that upon them as well. Because the world has told you that you're not this, you're not that. You project that upon your brother and sister as well. Even the way that we treat our bodies. We treat our bodies as if our bodies can last forever and forever and forever. We eat whatever we want. We drink whatever we want. We smoke whatever we want. We don't care, or we don't pay attention to our health. Sexually, we're reckless. We're so distant from who we are as a people. MapQuest or Google Maps can't even help us get back to where we are, where we're supposed to be. And I just wonder, does it all stem from self-hate? When we look at how we modify our hair, modify our bodies, because we don't love the way that God made us. And I'm not talking about tattoos or anything that sort. I'm talking, well, tattoos to a certain extent. Sometimes tattoos can amplify who you are, or sort of art, or sort of, memorabilia, whatever the case may be. So I get that part. But to a certain extent, to where it's all the energy that you're stemming it from. Yeah, all the energy that it stems from. Are you using tattoos to beautify yourself because you feel less than? Or are you doing it because it's a sense of, it has a purpose? We look at all the piercings and all of this and all of that. Is it because you use it because you're covering up something inside? Or because this is genuinely what you like? The clothes that we wear, it doesn't scream self-love. It doesn't scream, know me for who I am. It screams, I don't love myself, so take me for this. We put our faith. And what I'm saying is, we put our faith in all these brands and all these designers and all these trends. We put our faith and we put our trust in all these things than ourselves. So we hope that these things send out a message, send out a signal that we are worthy. To project the thought to others that we are worthy, that we are enough. But could all this be rooted in self-hate, that you don't think that you're enough? It's almost like when you don't love yourself, you're willing to destroy yourself. Again, when you don't love yourself, you're willing to destroy yourself. You never seen a beautiful painting, purposely get destroyed. Yet we're beautiful people and yet we destroy ourselves. Anything that's lovable, anything that has a sense or a hint of respect or prestige gets treated as such, gets treated with care. And that's why I question, do we love ourselves? Do we have self-hate? Because we don't treat ourselves or treat each other as such. It seems like we lack self-love. Well, we feed ourselves mentally. How we don't tap into our emotions when we're supposed to because we think it's weak. So we cover up and cover up and cover up and cover up, and we don't never look into ourselves and ask ourselves what's really going on. So you neglect yourself. Neglecting yourself, neglecting your emotions, neglecting your feelings is not love. It's a form of hate. Just like that child, just like a child may be crying, a child may be emotional. You neglect that child. You don't ask that child what's going on. You don't try to fix that situation or try to help ease that child's pain. That's neglect of that child. That's hate of that child. It's the same thing with you. Neglecting your emotions, neglecting your feelings, that's a form of self-hate. And very much on the spectrum of no self-love. Because if you love yourself, you want the best for yourself. Love is the truth, and how we run away from the truth, that screams that we don't have no love. And so I just take a step back and I look at how we treat ourselves, how we treat each other. The things that we entertain. And it's almost like people deep down inside hate being black. I don't know if it's due to systematically, what they told us or taught us or how we've been raised. Could that be it? Or was it past that we took that and ran with it? Is it because we look outside and we compare ourselves to other people and we feel like we're not enough? Is it because of the financial status that some of us grew up in forced us to materialistically not have enough? So we base our worthiness off of materialistic items that we don't have. Could that be it? Because when you love yourself, you wouldn't want to live in no gutter. When you love yourself, you want to do better. When you love yourself, you treat yourself better. When you love yourself, you treat others how you want to be treated. You treat others how you treat yourself. When you love yourself, you take steps for self-improvement. When you love yourself, you don't degrade your body to the point that you're irrecognizable. When you love yourself, you do the hard work because you understand that that's the path for truth. That's the path for clarity. And I say I could be wrong, but when I take a step back and I look outside, that's what I see. There's a bunch of people who hate themselves. And it's almost on an unconscious level. You know how women get their hairs to flow? Like the white women, how it's flowing long and straight and curly and all this. Not curly like natural curly, but you know, with the curls and the this and the that. To get the weave and the weave and the weave and the weave. It's almost like, do you hate how God made your hair? Now we understand that at a certain point in time, you have to have hair like the white woman, quote unquote, in order to have a job. But we're past that. Even when it's time for us to do our hair, we're like, I hate our hair. I hate my hair because it's nappy. It's this, it's this, it's this. Your hair is beautiful. Even when I take another step back and I look and I say, when African Americans or Black Americans want to distance themselves from being African American, I say, do you hate yourself that much that you distance yourself from your roots? Because when you distance yourself from the your African roots, now the beginning of your story is just that you were a slave. So is that where you equate yourself or your self-worth now? Just you being a slave? You distance yourself from your roots so much that it's almost you don't care, you don't choose to know. Whether you feel that you're just at the bottom of the pit, that it don't even matter. Mm. Let me know how y'all feel about this. It's your favorite cousin Rich. Y'all be safe out there. Love and blessings.